Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron, issue number 25, The Making of Baron Fel, written by Michael Stackpole. This issue is definitely something special, something unique. It's first of all, it's a one-shot as opposed to arc, an entire arc. It's a one-shot and well worth the read. It talks about the origin of Baron Fel, how he became best of the best. So it continues off directly after in the Empire Service, the previous story arc. As we know, Baron Fel is in captivity, and during his captivity, he's speaking very stoically to Wedge, recounting his entire backstory to his character, his beginnings, and how he ended up becoming the best of the best. Well, we see him as a young pilot during a festival, as he describes, where he speaks about his family life as a young man. He also has after the festival, an encounter with a man named Post. They fight, have an altercation. He then calls the Corellian security force and speaks to Hal Horn, Corran Horn's father, and gives a statement. And this changes his course of life. It doesn't go as planned. He's blackmailed into joining the Imperial Naval Academy, where he's to leave that same week, leave his family. And he goes on regarding this being just sent away from his family, and the changes he notices within himself, the training, the rigorous training, and how he became stronger within the Imperial Academy. He describes his flying skills and how he noticed himself getting better, excelling with years of training, and years go by, and he's then assigned to a squadron and details his first mission, where he describes as a slaughter from the Empire. He grows and masters the art of piloting ties, helping his comrades. And year after year, he continues to train to serve the Empire, and then is promoted to captain. He describes his second pilot tour and how he survived this. He continues his narration of his journey, and we discover he had Biggs and Tycho under his command. So that was super fun to read about as well. But we do learn how Biggs and others abandoned their duty in the Imperial Academy, leaving the Empire and joining the Rebel Alliance and fleeing, you can say. But because of this, Baron Fel is demoted. He's reprimanded, and so he's assigned to another group of pilots, but these are out of shape, you can say rejects that really aren't disciplined at all or doing much. But knowing Baron Fel, things turn around. He makes things turn around, and he has them train and getting them ready for combat. And they go on their first mission together and defeat a rebel squadron. And throughout, he's awarded many, many medals and definitely lots of recognition throughout his amazing career in the Empire. He goes on to describe the state of things after the destruction of the first Death Star. And on one ceremony, he meets a celebrity, Wyasa Starflare, a.k.a. Sayao Antilles. So this should sound familiar. They court, they are happy together, they fall deeply, deeply in love. He then proposes to her. He proposes to her, and they're extremely happy together. But one thing, she does confess who her brother is. Her brother is Wedge. So obviously he's an enemy to him and the Empire. So Baron Fel describes that how it's difficult for him and dreads the idea and possibility of shooting down his own brother-in-law. So he struggles with this because that's a possibility. And throughout this trip on memory lane, he describes a meeting with Isani Isard, and he goes through a test of loyalty. So he begins fearing for his wife's safety because things are escalating, and he fears that they're going to discover who she really is because she goes by her alias. So he tells her to flee, and he would find her. On one debriefing of a mission with Darth Vader, he notices a Chiss admiral and is surprised because, as we know, the Empire is very prejudiced against non-humans. So continuing on his narration, he describes battles that were won throughout, many victories defeating rebels in combat. And he's then promoted to colonel. And here he begins a shift in loyalty due to doubt. He starts thinking, he starts noticing hypocrisy, he starts struggling internally also, thinking about these things and how the empire changed immediately after the emperor was destroyed, and how he quotes saying that the empire I served died with the emperor. So he ends the recounting of his story, of his life story, telling Wedge that he is essentially switching sides, offering his skills, life, and knowledge to Wedge and his team in return to find his wife.